welcome back to Vintage Story. We're on our Fury on their new Riverlands server. There is the start spawn. There is a few teleporters around to help people get out and about a little bit faster. A lot of people already started going down in the south. It's just like the first hour into the server. Not many to the east. I went to the west. There's only a couple people, and I was in those woods, and I needed to get out of there. We're on the 1.19.8, and this is like literally like the first hour-ish of stuff that's going on. And I was really interested in a lot of this terrain generation as we keep going. Of course, we need to be able to survive the first bits before we can go around and look around at, see what potential places to go to. And the first thing when you usually want to get in here is get a whole bunch of cattails so you can get those baskets so you can hold more stuff. And food, of course, is also pretty important. I decided I'll just pick up some of the flax because, well, flax is pretty important. You need it wherever you're going to end up being. And it will get me some of the twine there, and then you can get it into spools and then eventually cloth. And I am skirting along the side here. We're going really fast because this is a whole hour's worth. And, well, the terrain was just kind of interesting enough. I was afraid of bears and wolves because it just seemed like the right kind of place for them to be in. But we wanted to get the cattails, the sticks, and we wanted to get any kind of food and these horsetails because horsetails, at least on this server, is the way to get bandages. And with this terrain generation, the water a bit is being changed and edited. I'm sure there'll be a little bit more on 1.20, but some interesting generation of water stuff around here. And I keep looking at the map, hoping that maybe I could find a nice big open flat space. So the desert can be a pretty nice place at the beginning. Getting to it, however, may be a little bit tricky because you can't necessarily tell with the topography with all those trees. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to climb some things. But when it's all nice and just normal granite sand or whatever, finding those copper nuggies is a little bit easier. So that's what I was kind of hoping, because anything that you can kind of find along the way, if I find 4 on the ground, I take 3 and leave 1, so that way someone comes by. I'm not going to be coming back here, so if someone actually wants to go around and try to find copper or whatever, I want them to be able to find it. We do need some more tools. I accidentally made a hoe before, but the knife is the first thing. Getting out a shovel and axe is the next best things, because, well, we're on a little bit of wood, and with the cutting down a small tree, and this one seemed to be like out of the way, we can then do a fire and eventually do some armor. That's the first time seeing goats. So there's a few bits of copper there on the side. And, sometimes you can dig down and you'll see, like, the first copper thing. But I didn't see any coal here either. But I did mark brown coal. You never know. And one of these, I'm not sure if this is part of a mod or part of the river thing. I think it's part of a mod because there's some different kinds of plants around. This tool, not going to be as good as cattails, but if you want to use any kind of early on building material, that's pretty easy to get, and to use that as like roofing and such. But I want to make sure we have enough different knives because we need that bit of grass so then we can make a fire. The rifts are on in this, so occasionally, they like to pop up right when you're walking through it, and then it'll change your temporal gear and such. So, 4 firewoods and a piece of grass makes that fire pit. I'm going to collect a little bit more while I'm here and kind of just sitting and getting warm. And then the fire starter, sticks, and grass. So those sort of things are pretty easy and good to do. So sticks and the grass will make the torches. and I like to put some in my inventory. It takes up space, but that way, in case if you ever accidentally go, oops, I went into too much deep water, then you won't lose all of your torches. You'll just snuff out one torch. So, I'm going to get a few more of this stuff here in the area. Because even though we have all of our baskets, we can make a reed basket. And the reed basket will not hinder our movement speed while we're carrying it. We have the carry-on capacity, carry-on mod that lets you carry things, containers on your back, which is pretty nice. And that way we can still carry a little bit more, get a little bit more stuff that we might want at our final destination, and not hinder us. So we're going into a lot more interesting stuff around here. We do not have the one-person sleep mod on the Fury servers. We had it on the Rustic Gears, which makes it convenient because we have a smaller bit of people. And when we don't want it to be dark out and we want to be building, that's pretty nice. But this is all more of a basic survival with some mods. We do have some chisel stuff on there, and the whole list of mods are available. And I was happy to find mushrooms because, well, mushrooms is considered a vegetable, and you start out with all of your nutritional bars down. And this is the first time seeing rivers, so this river, really, well, stream river, I don't know, small river, it cuts through this land pretty well, and it looks like it's flowing pretty good. So I decided, well, this river is going to be really long, and it's probably going to be pretty hard to cross it later. So I just jumped on across. That gave me a chance to get more mushrooms. Yay! And follow it down, I found out this moss. It's covered on stone. It is slippery. So if you're hopping the banks, you might potentially fall in if you end up on that. Make sure we have enough bandages there because I do want to use it up. See, lost my torch. So it is raining, so I'll be quick about it. You can relight it, light torches with other torches, and we'll just try to not fall into deeper water. And we are trying to avoid caves at night because I don't know if we have the grace period set on this server. And this looks like the new trader bit. So I'm going to get something on my hand so I could see what he's got different in there. So a couple little things seem different, but not dramatic. There is our reed basket made up, and we can put more things in there. Must have something on your other hand in order to put it on your back. But neat little cart thing there. It actually looks like a cart opposed to like a gypsy wagon. I like the gypsy wagon kind of thing. Maybe there's both stuff. I don't know. This just seemed like this is something that's updated for the newer versions of the game. Maybe they'll have a mix of different things in here. I don't think we have better ruins on here because I've been looking at the map, and that trader is the first structure that I had seen. I've seen a couple like small tiny ruins. There's something interesting up here. I don't know if this structure is part of a mod or not. I'm going to get some dirt because I want to get some packed dirt. I'm not sure if the gravity's on as well, because if there's any baddies in here, I want to get in the pillar. So I'm clearing out a little bit of space here. I'm not seeing anything. I would think if something was going to attack, it would have attacked me by now, like locust or something. But clear out a little bit of space. And these are like creative blocks. And it looks like someone's made a little cauldron here. Can't tell which exactly are all created blocks, but some of the stuff on the outside. There's a bell up here. I didn't see any like treasure chests or anything interesting up there, but it's a building. I suppose you could convert it if you wanted to. And then I was wondering about this because it's actually lava. So I tried to run to the closest water spot, and this is, you know, a good reason to have some bandages on you. Don't have any armor, so it's not a problem with doing bandages. You don't usually tend to heal as well when you have armor on, so you gotta take it off, apply the bandages and whatnot. Figured I would carry on since it's the next day and go into this thing here just to see if we happen to find anything. Found a little bit of copper, but nothing really interesting in here. Clay. Clay's good, you know. There was a little tiny basement thing down here, and you need to end up breaking a block. Nothing in the chest, but I will take that lantern holder because it will be very convenient wherever our first place is to have a set continual light source and not worry about having to replace torches and stuff. And I don't always play with pony style. Sometimes I do. I think I'd rather just leave it for someone else. And then, of course, if you find more flax, I generally like to only get the mature plant. But as I got further out, I would end up like actually breaking all the flax plants in the area just to see if I happen to get seeds. And I don't want to like take them all by near the spawn area. This is kind of like further out. I figured that it would be a little bit more of a thing. Like, yeah, I'll just be nice and leave some for others, and other places like they're probably not going to be around here, so I'll take them. So only a couple ruins, and they're the different ruins. We got lead over here. Lead's good to find in some deserts. The ruins are a little bit different. Some have chiseled blocks in it. These haven't been real big. This looked like really interesting, so I went around it because I could see some drifters in the dark spots going around. So this is a big thing here. And again, if there's gravity up here and I disturb stuff, I was kind of afraid, uh-oh, maybe something might fall apart. It did almost fall in a hole, so it's like, okay, let's quickly go through this forest because, well, I have no idea if there would happen to be wolves or whatever. And of course, my parkour skills are just horrible, so I have trouble going from side to side blocks. But that's what, you know, breaking a few dirt blocks, try not to disturb too much, that works. There is a lot of loose leaves and foliage on the ground in certain terrains. Really nice looking in some places, and then kind of annoying in others, but that's okay. I saw some granite sticking out here, and I was like, well, this is a little bit of an odd shape. I wonder if... And it did seem to be spherical, and you can't break it with your hands. You need some sort of tool. You just won't be able to do it. So, I figured, mark it. If someone else gets it, you know, whatever. I probably might find something later. But those are little, like, geode clusters. So I wanted to continue on and go around some of these potentially interesting places. Still, probably want to go further south, just because the winters still pretty bad. They happen to have plenty of trees and animals. You got a pen. Got some gardening stuff in. Maybe it'll be just fine for the winter time and storing food. I did decide I'll collect the lilies because lilies and forget-me-nots are pretty nice to have around running your first beehive stuff. Makes it nice and convenient to look around. Still not finding anything very interesting. I come across a raccoon, come across a couple foxes, seen some chickens there. so haven't seen much animals. They seem to be kind of sparse or just not in the right area for it. We'll take the cranberry bushes. I don't know. I like cranberry bushes. The cranberries are a berry that lasts longer than other berries. So I'm a little partial to it. And it's a little smaller bush, it seems. Unless they've changed it. But that's a pretty nice thing to have. There was wolves back there, so we're hightailing it the other way. Potentially into more wolves. And occasionally you run into a tree that's so low, you're knocking your head on it. So I figured, okay, we're at wolf territory. Let's get some wood here. Put the wood, turn it into firewood, and you can make improvised armor. And that is a nice armor to have your first time. You need a little bit more grass, but then that goes on you, and you can repair it with firewood. So it makes it pretty easy to repair. Doesn't do a whole lot, but it does more than nothing. And there has been some weather going on here, and definitely certain places, the lowlands and whatnot, can get kind of misty, foggy, whatnot, and a little harder to see. So, this area, especially since it's getting dark, mistiness is making it pretty difficult. So I find a little cubby hole over there. Get a fire going. Fire's covered, so I don't have to worry about the rain. I'm gonna go through our bag here and see what else we